Welcome to the Mind Life channel. This is John, and I'm here to introduce this week's video. And it talks about something that we all experience, and that is pain. The Mind Life channel talks about all the things that we experience, but to question them and untangle them so we can become better versed to understand what troubles us. What I intend to achieve is to change the way that we interpret pain and to also develop a relationship with it. Where the main theme of this video is that pain is not just from our bodies and nor just from our brains, but a combination of the two in parallel, where our minds and bodies will feed each other. And I reference a variety of philosophical and neurological insights so we can become better versed to understand what pain is, so we can better manage ourselves as we experience it. And this is not to discard the effects of physical pain and taking the needful actions to seek medical assistance. But this is to redefine our relationship with pain and a realization that pain is something that we will all experience at some point of our lives. Just like death and taxes, it is one of life's certainties. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if so, please press the like button and subscribe to the Mind Life channel and leave your comments and click the notifications button. I look forward to seeing you on our next journey. We will go through life with the knowledge that there are some things that are inevitable. We are creatures of happiness, yet will become sad. We will yearn for wealth, and some will stay poor. We will aspire for health, and we will grow ill. If there is a certainty in life, is that we all will experience pain. And when we consider this, there is our physical pain, the aches and ailments we encounter from our bodies. There is also our mental anguish, the weights and wranglings that will confuse and torment us. This video will discuss the notion of pain, what it is, and how our bodies and minds interpret it, so we can then manage ourselves as we experience it. Perhaps if we prick our finger, neuroscience shows us that the pain travels from our finger through the spinal cord and then towards the thalamus, located near the heart of our brain. Then, depending on the type of pain, the thalamus will then recourse the signal to other parts of the brain, a lot of which are locations that are tied to our emotions. And this shows us that our feeling of pain is a process of not just its physical source, but a stimulation of what happens in our minds. And its stimulation is not just an automatic causation, as if we could feel the same level of pain if we all pricked our finger identically. It is a mental process of how each of our minds interpret it, where our emotions play a key role. This may beg the question, why then is my feeling of pain coming from my finger and not of my brain? Regarded philosopher of the mind John Searle considers pain as a labour of our mind and body. It is, though, gifted with the assertion of our perception and interpretation, which explains how we all render our pain differently, even if we all pricked our finger in the same way. What if then we investigated this in reverse, where the pain we experience mentally passes on to our bodies? Philosopher Alain de Botton from the School of Life talks about how our mental angst can end up in our body. It is when our burdened minds tender a tremor in our stomachs when we are stressed. It is a process of how we find it difficult to fathom what our minds are thinking, where we tend to suppress our feelings. Or in other words, how our mind sends a message to our bodies that something is not right. So we have said that our pains, while physical in nature, is derived from its source, where its signal is sent to our brains courtesy of the thalamus, which is then redirected to the many parts of our brain, often linked with our emotions. And this explains how we render pain differently, as it is subject to our perception and interpretation. We also know that this process works in reverse, where our mental angst can end up in our body, sending a message of pain to gain our proper attention. So, to define pain, we can say that it is an ailment that exemplifies our disorders not just of the body, but also of mind. As per philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer, every violent movement of our nature, and hence every emotion and passion, convulses the body and disturbs the course of its function. This does not imply that all levels of pain are managed through a mental means. What this says, though, is that pain is something not just born of our bodies, and our anguish is not just something that is limited to our minds. It is part of a parallel system of where mind is moulded with matter, where this allows us to form a relationship with our pain, to understand what it is, and to still prosper our lives through it. It helps us understand the impacts of our pain, when we become ill-tempered as our bodies ache, and how our moods become moulded into our beleaguered bodies. It is from pain that we realise our humanity. Yet, it is through pain that we can rally our resilience.